Rally Finland, and with Magical Cat and Matthew being tied at the top of the standings, it's all to play for. Who's going to be the world champion? Well, it was strike one for Magical Cat after confusion at the finish made that he had a slower finish time on stage 1. It was a sad mistake and a stupid rookie error. The stage was taking out more drivers as well though. This Ford Puma was one of them, spinning right in front of the crowd. Rally Finland is known for taking people out, and another spin just a corner later proved that as well. You are either really good at this rally or you're struggling, and as he goes through town square, he's lost a wheel. Later on, a big moment for Campbell, hitting the tree and going up onto his roof. The pink car managed to get back onto the track, but it was a big mistake for him. Many drivers crashing and losing time, but for this driver, Rio Andre, it would be over. A crash into the tree, losing his wheel. It was a close call for Copley, managing to avoid the trees even though he went off. He lost quite a bit of time, but didn't lose any parts of his car. Vital in a rally like this. He would keep going, and he's on for a strong rally as he heads into the town square. Big moment for the STP Ford of Hamilton, hitting a tree, hitting another tree, and a broken suspension. It looked like he would be over. His rally would be over, but no. He would continue. A controller disconnect for the Naktaz Trident of Amazing Ablo. As he goes down the hill into the town square, loses connection of his controller and loses control of the car. A big mistake, and a sad one as well. And then it was the title contender in the M Sport Ford, Matthews, crashing and losing a wheel. A devastating way to end your championship. Or that was what I would say if he didn't make up a lot of time in stage 2. A big comeback for the Brazilian driver, getting second in stage 2. Other championship contender, Magical Cat, would flip after trying to nurse his car home from an earlier incident. And unlike Matthew, it would be killer for his rally. Losing a lot of time, it was over for the championship contender, and it seemed like Matthews may have just won his first ever MMF championship. Incident after incident for Magical Cat. It was a very tough sight to see, especially if you're part of the team who's worked all season long for a championship that's all for nothing. Magical Cat out of the rally, it was only a good thing for Matthew. Now how lucky was this? It would also be a crash, but this time it would be by the end of the stage, hitting the tree, sliding out before he crossed the line, but only making impact after. It was a lucky break. Now, the dreaded Vesikkola stage. And of course, it was going to produce some crazy action. More crashes, well, we're going to see that, and here's one of them. Not a great way to enter the downhill chicane, flying over onto his roof. This driver in particular would end up retiring from the rally due to this massive incident. But the biggest loss was for Copley. After co-driver Kovameis made a big error, he would crash, breaking his rear suspension. And just a few minutes later, I Don't Have crashed to that very same corner in that very same tree. He didn't have as much damage as Copley, but it was still time lost. And time to be gained for Matthew. Stage 4, and a stellar push from Matthew. One with the car and one with the stage, driving the wheels off of it. He was going home to his first title, and he didn't want to go home without a beautiful show. Flying through the jumps, flying through the corners, and with a perfectly commanded drive, it would be Matthew, after a mistake from Magical Cat, becoming the first ever MMF World Rally Champion. M Sport was delighted, and the Brazilian was too. But Hamilton, donning the Richard Petty livery scheme on his Ford Puma, wouldn't be so delighted, having a massive crash into the trees, losing his suspension in the process. It was a terrible sight for the Ford driver, and he would still limp home. But he fell victim to the corner with, of course, rocks on the inside. A Finland classic. It was looking great for Amazing until a slow but painful crash into the trees after a slide that was too much. Meant that he would crash, losing a lot of time. And it meant also that he would lose quite a few places. The M Sport Puma of Crazy Dude, knowing that his teammate was world champion, knew that after leading all the rally, he didn't have to push. He brought the car home, being the 5th winner in 5 different rallies and becoming the winner of the NESTE Rally Finland in MMF WRC.